It's Nazar with New Day Tech, and today we are covering passive income and how to make some money with your crypto. So yield farming and staking, those terms are used interchangeably, but they are completely different things. And we're gonna cover the differences between the two. And we're also gonna do a live example on how to yield farm. I'm gonna use Yokozuna Finance. They just had a successful launch on the IOST blockchain, and they got a liquidity pool set up. So we're gonna see how easy or difficult it is. So with staking, it's common to earn 5 to 10% APY. Some blockchain projects actually pay out a little more. With yield farming though, you can earn much higher dividends. It is a little more complicated, but with that comes higher returns. So with yield farming, you're actually joining a liquidity pool. Okay, so this liquidity pool is used for several things. It can be used for trading, either on decentralized exchanges. It can be used for other services like lending, but essentially you're locking up a couple of tokens in this liquidity pool and you're sharing in the fees generated for that pool. Where it can get a little tricky is that you have to be constantly on the hunt for different pools. So you might start off in a liquidity pool that's paying 50%, but 2 weeks down the line, if that pool is less active and generating less fees, that percentage will drop. So you would withdraw that money, or I would say harvest because we're farming, and add that to a different pool. So you're constantly on the hunt for new pools that are paying a higher yield. And what can make it more complicated is that there's a ton of liquidity pools coming out with all different types of projects. So there's two main risks that you need to look out for with liquidity pools. One is permanent loss and the other is impermanent loss. Permanent loss would be from some type of security breach. If somebody was to hack the liquidity pool, those funds could be drained and those would be completely lost forever. There would be no recovery of those funds. So when you're looking for a liquidity pool, there's a checklist of things that you need to be looking for. One, is it a solid project? Has it been around for some time? And was there a third-party security audit done? Not somebody's cousin Tony. The other risk is what they call an impermanent loss. If you have two tokens locked up in a pool, and one of the tokens skyrockets in value, say it jumps 300%, you are missing out on that increase in value. And it may have been better off just holding the underlying token rather than staking your money in the liquidity pool. It's similar to opportunity loss. So imagine you got $100 and you got to pick one out of 3 stocks. The stock that you pick only goes up 10%, while the other two shoot up 80%. This is something that happens all the time with investing. So now that you got the quick rundown on liquidity pools, let's take a quick look at Yokozuna Finance and see how easy it is to actually add money to a liquidity pool and start earning dividends. All right, guys, here we are at Yokozuna Finance. They just recently launched on IOST blockchain. They offered pre-staking prior to the launch. What's funny, when I first took a look, I think it was sitting just over $100,000, and literally within a week, it was over 2.5 million, which is insane. So these are some of the other features that they're looking to add. Obviously, projects like this take time. They have a DAO fund they're setting up, a decentralized organization, which is actually going to be governed by NFTs. And this is why I love this project. It's not your average liquidity pool. So a lot of this stuff is on the roadmap, but for now, they've actually launched their liquidity pools and farming. So we're going to enter the app here. And here we go. So we're getting stats on the fund. So I have iWallet installed for IOST. I deposited some money in there. I got about 500 IOST. It's not much, like 20 bucks. And I already exchanged some for Zuna Tokens as well, so that we can go ahead and just get this done. It was very simple to use. Once you have iWallet installed on Chrome, and you have money in there, you can actually go right here and exchange right for Zuna Tokens. And over here, we have the liquidity pool. What I love seeing, especially to start, they got almost $200,000 in this liquidity pool. So as an investor, you know, if I needed to sell $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, or $500 worth of Zuna tokens, at least I know the funds are there. They're in the liquidity pool. So right now, the total value locked, that's within all the staking pools, you're looking just over 2.5 million. They're already starting to fund the DAO fund, and the DAO is a decentralized organization. So when that launches Q1 of next year, they're gonna have plenty of money in that fund for people that have NFTs and wanna start staking them. They can earn rewards from that fund. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good here. So let's head over to the liquidity pools. I am gonna do the Zuna IOST. So when you're staking in liquidity pools, you're adding both tokens for that pool. Essentially, you're adding a trading pair. I think I got about 30 something Zuna tokens. I'm just gonna hit max. Great, auto-populates IOST for me. Let's proceed. Processing, adding liquidity, success. Okay. So again, I'm using a very small amount of tokens to get this done. So my pool share is gonna be so tiny. I'm literally at 0.01%. So the way their finance protocol is set up, when you add money to the liquidity pools, it's giving you an equivalent amount of Zuna tokens that you can stake in their vaults or some of their other single token staking pools. So these have a much higher APY. God, they're in the thousands. Look at that, this is insane. I can't imagine they're gonna stay that high. Obviously, as more people join in, that percentage is gonna lower, but I'm gonna get in right now while I can. I've already earned Zuna tokens from staking in the pool, so I'm just gonna throw in what I can. It's gonna give me 105, I'm gonna stake it. So there we are. Like I said, I'm not gonna have a huge amount because I'm dealing with a very small amount of IOST and Zuna tokens, but this is actually a lot simpler than I thought it was gonna be. So staking is a little simpler, all right? If you were able to grasp the concept of yield farming, then staking is going to be a piece of pie. So all cryptos have a way of verifying transactions, usually in the form of some type of consensus mechanism. If you're not mining, then chances are it's on a proof of stake network. The way proof of stake works is people that are processing transactions have to have a stake in the actual process. And this is done usually in the form of staking tokens. It could be as high as $5,000 or $10,000 worth of that particular token. So the money is put up as collateral to actually ward off bad behavior. So as node operators are processing transactions, they get fees for processing those transactions. You can stake your tokens with the node operator and earn a percentage of the fees that they're collecting. Most major crypto platforms like Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com, they all offer staking and they make it really simple. It offers much lower risk than yield farming, but because of that, the yield is much lower as well too. If the asset declines and your yield is not enough to cover that decline, that's really what your biggest risk is. This is why it's important to stick with good projects that have great teams behind them and a proven track record, and some type of third-party security audit on their network. There's only a few ways that you can make money with cryptocurrency. You're either building a business on blockchain and offering some type of service, you're buying the underlying asset in the form of the crypto and hoping that it appreciates over time, or you're earning dividends by yield farming or staking. Either way, stay safe. Make sure that you're looking into projects before you're investing into them, and hopefully you make some money. I'd like to thank you guys again. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. This is Nazar with New Day Tech. I'm out.